what can you say?
Yeah.
What can you say? Detroit City came to play here today on this beautiful opening day here at Keyworth Stadium in front of 6,642 showing up to the Key today for this opening day, a game in which they took on the Birmingham Legion. Let's start things off here. I mean, Detroit City came out of the gates roaring.
Oh, yes.
Darren Smith, 21st minute of play, puts Detroit City on the board.
Yes, and with a really good cross from Alex Venezuela.
With the assist.
He headed the header for the second goal of the game. My premonition is coming true.
Yes. And Detroit City would be up at that point by a score of 1-0. However, 6 minutes later, Ronaldo Damas gets his name on the score sheet.
Proving what he worked. He had a goal. Sandalo was ready, but deflect off Placebo and went in the net. A rainbow goal, sort of. But, 1-1.
Yep, 1-1 at that point. And then 6 minutes later, it seems like we got a goal every 6 minutes at that point.
So, yeah.
Ben Morris off the rebound right here.
Off the rebound, hit a defender, and then he was well-timed. He kicked the goal. 2-1, his first goal of the season, hoping to make a better improvement out of his 10-goal haul last year. So that was a really goal. He was aware it was a goal, and it was 2-zip.
Yep, 2-zip or 2-1 in favor of Detroit City at that point. In fact, Detroit City dominant in the first half, 59% possession to 41. Had more shots total, more shots on target as well.
Yeah.
Than Birmingham Legion. The passing was accurate, but however, that second half seemed like Birmingham Legion started to get going a little bit. And they had more of the shots, none on target though. But unfortunately, in the 80th minute, they would connect, and that would be on an own goal by Stephen Carroll.
That was terrible. He missed time to jump to clear and somehow hit the back of the net. And oh my God, that is always devastating when you give up a goal with a 2-1 lead, and it was just
the late minute. Let's just say the late minute curse that affected us last year against Birmingham, which ended up we ended up losing that game 2-1. We ended up dropping points again.
We got
final score: Detroit City 2, Birmingham 2. Still undefeated on the year, however, with 7 points, tied with one other club. We'll mention them in a little bit here.
Okay.
But let's go back to this one.
Yeah.
How did you think the spirit was for Detroit City as far as the game goes?
The game was really good. They were really flowing in the first half. The crowd was in it. But like I said, when we scored, the city was great, including those 2 great goals, the cross and Ben Morris goal. But Birmingham was aggressive. They were being the aggressor. I was standing in the crowd, and Edward Martinez, the long standward, was literally getting booed by the crowd, literally trying to draw the foul, and it was something. But second half, they were on point, but it was accidental own goal, not fun.
Yeah, I mean, different changes for their Mensah came in for
his foot.
Not Amu Mensah, but Moses Mensah came in for McCartney, and then Traeger then came in 7 minutes later. He ends up getting a yellow card. Let's see what else is. There. And those were the only two subs that Birmingham had for the game. They had one later in in stoppage time, but that was a moot point by then. Little time wasting there at the end as well. A couple of players went down for Birmingham Legion. The other one, I think he went down with a cramp.
Probably so.
And then that was the last sub of the match, and then a couple minutes were added on. Beyond that, but nonetheless, it ended up being a
blown and
2-2 tie for Detroit City today against the Birmingham Legion. Final stats of the game here: 58% possession for Detroit City as compared to 42. 8 shots on goal, or 8 total shots, 3 on target, 2 big chances for Detroit City there. The passing, it was good. It was about an 80%. It was an 80% clip in the first half.
First half was good, but the second half,
lots of 50-50 balls and lots of chances going by the wayside there for Detroit City FC.
Yeah.
More corners though for Birmingham Legion.
Literally, yeah.
I mean, they, as far as the set pieces go, so obviously more set pieces for the Legion today. But sadly for Detroit City, it just didn't come to fruition.
No longer undefeated. So whoever runs,
we're still undefeated. Still undefeated.
Unbeaten. Yeah,
we are unbeaten. We are undefeated.
Yes, you're right.
And sitting at 7 points right now. Speaking of which, we're not the only team sitting at 7 points. Oh,
our opponent next week.
Oh yes,
Louisville City.
Yep, got some highlights from that one. As we're looking at the screen right now, Ray Serrano would put Louisville on the board early in the 26th minute of play.
Yes.
With
challenge 1-on-1.
Got a nice header right there by Serrano. And the score.
Goal of the week candidate.
Yep. Well, one of the goal of the week candidates there. 26th minute of play puts Louisville up by a score of 1-0. Fast forward to the 75th minute of play. Set piece opportunity for Lou City.
Yes.
Got off the rebound there.
Yes.
2-0.
Yes.
Yep. 2-0 for Lou City.
And that's all she wrote.
And it was Davila with the goal on that one. Louisville knocking out Loudoun, handing them their first loss on the year.
Loudoun was lucky with 2 wins on 2 games, but not lucky against the top of the heap.
Never easy to win at Lynn Family Stadium. That's where we're going next week.
Oh, yeah, Lynn next week is Lynn Family Stadium. Not an easy place to play.
A house of horrors for Detroit City.
By the way, all-time career record since we entered the championship, 4-0. 4 losses. The last 2 games combined score of 8-1.
I was there for that second one, and it was
brutal.
I mean, we got. I think we got the lead early, and then it was all Louisville the rest of the way, and it was just.
They know how to wipe up the floor with these people, and they're tough to play. That's the team that we're lucky enough to beat Louisville. Rhode Island, hello.
Yep, that's why Louisville's the class of the Eastern Conference as well. So,
well, that will be it for me, considering that you had an interview with Sean Mann.
No, well, actually, we're going to come back and talk a little bit more about the match. But yes, more about this pro raw thing here. Of course, the big news of the week: Detroit or USL decided that, amongst the owners, that they're going to go pro raw. I talked to Sean Mann to get a little bit more information about it, and here's the interview now.
Okay.
We're here with Sean Mann, CEO of Detroit City FC. A big week in terms of the USL as far as promotion relegation goes. I mean, it was it was a super majority, kind of a unanimous vote, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, I think there's a consensus in the room to move forward with this, something we've been talking about for a while, and I mean, across the board, a lot of enthusiasm. People are really excited, and it's a first step of many towards doing something pretty historic here in American soccer.
Yep. Now, the schedule, we talked about this earlier, I mean, after we recorded Soccer Night in Detroit. Now, the schedule is not going to be parallel with the European schedule, from what I hear.
Yeah, I mean, USL has all intentions. Every discussion's been around sticking to our current model of spring to fall. And so, there's no discussion really about changing that at this point. I think Paul McDonough, our president of USL, has been pretty consistent on that point. So, yeah.
So, I mean, it's going to – and obviously it's a game changer in American soccer. Nothing's been done like this before. Not even in the NASL days, not even in the days prior to the NSA, NASL, ASL, all that stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like a historian on all facets of American soccer, but certainly in modern, professional American soccer, yeah, this is a first, and it's really exciting. I think there's a lot of people in this league that come from this from a fan's perspective, and frankly, American soccer fans, American sports fans are becoming, more ingrained with like how the game's played in the rest of the world, and that's what they're gravitating towards. And so this is an exciting opportunity to like bring the game like as it's known around the rest of the world to the United States.
Not to mention with the 26 World Cup coming, I mean, MLS was born through the 94 World Cup. Now this is like the second, how do I say it? Second on coming or whatever it is of forming to a world platform as far as soccer goes.
Well, I want to be pragmatic about it. I think it's a significant move for our league. I think it's significant for American soccer, but I don't think it's a panacea. It's everything that domestic soccer in this country is facing. So, but I think it's going to be exciting, and I think it's going to help USL be more relevant, and that's really key for the growth of this league and sustainability.
And that's what we're hoping to see come 27-28 when this happens. Of course, USL being the only league to do it, we're not sure what's going to happen in down the road with MLS as far as what their system's going to be, but at least USL is taking the step that of a more truer form of soccer, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to be very exciting, and again, soccer in this country is growing, and I think teams in Europe are actually capturing more of that growth than teams in the United States, and so this is an exciting way to both, I think, cater to the very knowledgeable fans who are following soccer around the world here in the United States, but also like casual sports fans, create a very unique dynamic that doesn't exist elsewhere in American sports. And so it's rare that you can do something that caters both to the most hardcore people and the most lay people at the same time. And so, it's an exciting first step.
That's what That's what we're hoping for. Americans love drama, and that's what we'll be getting in the final couple months of the season. Teams moving up, teams moving down, and we're structurally sound. You think in the champion in the USL itself that something like this is bound to happen?
Yeah, I mean, it's ambitious. Like, we're all pushing ourselves, but I think everyone's kind of on the same page that the status quo is not our friend, and that we need to do something different. And this is something that's going to spur a lot of investment and growth, I think, and teams, ownership groups pushing to reach new heights. And so, yeah, it's exciting. You're hearing plans from teams that I never thought would be so ambitious, and they're pushing themselves to own soccer in their communities, and this is a real catalyst.
Big catalyst indeed. Good talking to you, Sean.
Cool.
And we'll see you. We'll see you around. Exciting things.
Yes.
Exciting things coming down the pipe as far as pro rel goes in the next couple years. And looking at that or going back to that interview, they're not thinking going head to head with MLS, even if MLS decides to go fall spring.
Yes.
So I mean that's going to be good news and compelling television.
Yeah, literally compelling television. Even before the game, I talked to Sean before the game, and is this tied into possibly USL going fall, spring, maybe? Who knows?
Nope. There's no intentions at this time as far as that goes. So, so there's, I mean, they don't want to go to a European calendar at this point, but.
Go to the European calendar, MLS. We'll have the stage all to ourselves.
Exactly, and that would make for some compelling television over the summer months.
It will.
That's for damn sure. So, I mean, looking forward to that. Okay. So, as we were talking about prior to the interview, it was, like I said, next week we go into that House of Horrors as Lynn Family Stadium.
I know.
4:00 kickoff for Detroit City against Louisville. Louisville. Obviously, winners today.
Yeah, right.
In their match,
and we get a point from a horrible own goal draw.
Yep. And right now we are tied in points with Louisville City.
Yes.
Atop the Eastern Conference.
You're right, but it's early.
It's early. Yeah. 3 games in. Plenty of soccer left to be played between now and November, and now in October, I should say.
Yeah.
It's a race to November at this point. 30 games.
Yeah,
I think we're going to break everything down at.
Okay.
We'll end up breaking everything down at 10 games at this point.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get to the 10 point for you to see who's on top, who's on bottom, and who's have the hot foot.
Yeah, we measure it about 10 games at a time, especially now that we have 30 games to deal with instead of 34.
You're right. And considering the next 4 will be the Yagi Cup, but that won't come until the end of April. So
taking a look at where we're going to be. Obviously, we're being in Louisville next week.
Yes, next week against the Louisville FC.
Louisville City FC, 4 o'clock kickoff. Usual outlets, of course, CW Detroit 50.
ESPN Plus.
And CBS Detroit.
And outside Detroit, yes, you're right.
So,
and we will do the pregame show an hour before game time.
We will be coming back here to Yes, from the city clubhouse. Yes.
Will that be a memorable experience, or will that be a wasteful time trip?
Well, we hope it isn't a wasteful time trip.
I know.
We're back here at Keyworth coming up April 5th
against Monterey Bay,
and they will be coming off a Open Cup draw themselves.
You're
right. Of course, we don't enter the tournament until
round 3,
and that will be April after we're done on the West Coast against Phoenix Rising.
And by the way, just to let everybody know, the key date for the U.S. Open Cup 3rd round draw, April 3rd. All the winners will be in the pool regionally and all that, and we'll get to see who we face on here at Keyword.
Yep. YouTube.com for that, or YouTube will have the on the U.S. soccer page or U.S. soccer channel there. They'll have the draw as far as that goes. But we won't be worrying about the Open Cup for a few weeks.
Not think about it right now, but we have
there's going to be some good Open Cup games coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the one I'm looking forward to, the Chatta Derby.
Chattanooga FC against Chattanooga Red Wolves.
That is correct.
The Pretenders.
On April 2nd, 7:30, taking place at Finley Stadium, Chattanooga FC will be hosting the Chattanooga Red Wolves. You know the backstory there.
It's a long story.
Utah, for those that follow lower league soccer, Utah Bob is the owner of Chattanooga Red Wolves. Took away the territorial rights.
Damn it.
And thus Chattanooga FC could not move up to the USL Championship.
They're stuck in
if they wanted to.
If they're stuck in the rookie development, which is next pro.
Yeah. So when they left Nice a year ago, a year ago,
I know.
They had no other place to go.
But next pro.
Exactly. But next pro, because Chattanooga Red Wolves had the territorial rights.
Territorial right.
And then next thing you know, the Red Wolves had the territorial rights. And basically Chattanooga FC had no place to go. Thus, they're in MLS Next Pro. And this is going to be the first ever Chatta Derby. That's going to be interesting.
That's going to be interesting, considering that we have a history with Chatta FC. We played on a few times in exhibition, then in the league.
Members Cup as well. Right. It started off in the NPSL Members Cup, and then moved on into NISA for a couple years there. Yeah. Chattanooga played here for a championship bid, but lost to LA Force in the semifinal here at Keyworth back in 2021.
And the championship game, incidentally, talking about own goal, was decided on one of the ridiculous own goals I have ever seen. Taylor passed it back to the goaltender, went over his head, and it went all the way here.
Right in that goal behind us there.
How freaking embarrassing!
That was embarrassing for LA Force. Speaking of embarrassment, that's Friedland's team, I think it is. But nonetheless, and then Chattanooga ended up playing us in the spring deal, which is the Legends Cup, at Finley Stadium, in which Detroit City ended up winning that one, and that's when the famous strike a pose moment.
And
Stephen Carroll the strike a pose moment.
That was an infamous viral event in Detroit.
Yes,
literally.
A picture it was worth 1,000 words.
1,000 words,
But enough about Open Cup there. Like I said, the championship, obviously, the big story here, obviously, today, Detroit City dropping points, not losing, but dropping points today against the Birmingham Legion by
2-2 draw.
By a 2-2 draw. Right now, they are sitting
tied
in the USL Championship. They are sitting tied with the with Louisville City, our next opponent.
Yes.
An early battle for first place.
Wow, believe it or not, it's the battle of the stars. I may have to hype that up for next week.
Well, we're going to hype that up big time because it is a battle.
Let's hope it's a better matchup than what 2 over in Louisville. Oh my!
Yeah, and unfortunately, we got to rehatch those when we're talking about this game next week.
Yeah, we have to talk about this game. Come on, honestly, this is why we do the pre and post.
Yep, we're going to have to talk about this thing.
And by the way, don't forget, you have a separate of every other game tonight.
That is correct. We are going to do around the sea. We're going to do that. Also, we're going to do that on TikTok. I'm going to put it on the YouTube page as well. It's going to be a short little 5-6 minute video. Everything that goes on within the USL Championship.
Any attractive matchup you see tonight? Or
well, I can tell you one right now.
Okay.
Over 20,000 people are going to be at the Oakland Coliseum to see
a home game
for a home soccer match. That's more than the Oakland Stompers probably back in the day.
Yeah, I know.
Oakland Roots is taking on San Antonio FC. That's a marquee matchup tonight.
It's playing at Oakland Coliseum because the A's abandoned them. Stadium issue. I'm not going to go over the whole thing. It would be
and Oakland Roots, they're looking for a stadium themselves. They're looking for options. They were planning on putting one in the Malibu lot, but this Coliseum opportunity came up. They took advantage of it, and the next thing you know, over 23,000 people are going to be at this soccer game.
Unbelievable.
And it's already said it's a sell. Obviously, they're not going to put a good. They're not going to put 50,000 or 40,000 in there for this one, but
it's not baseball, no.
But it is it's going to be a good sized crowd tonight. Something to look forward to. 10 o'clock on ESPN.
Yeah,
or actually, it's not on ESPN Plus. I believe
on the Golazo channel, right?
It is on ESPN
Plus. Maybe on the yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So. But let's see. Let's see. I want to look at the photos. Look at my photos here too, because I think I got the what do you call it? The schedule there too.
Yes. The schedule. We'll put it right there as you're trying to find it.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. So, there it is. Yes. Okay, so it is an
ESPN Plus.
Yeah. Golazo has switchbacks in Sacramento Republic. That's going to be a good matchup there.
And Sacramento is on top of the West Conference.
As always. And two of the top teams there.
Yeah.
Loudoun FC is traveling to Phoenix Rising tonight as well. But like I said, that's the game. The game I'm going to watch is that Oakland Roots San Antonio game.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, we'll have highlights of all the games on there around the sea. Game, a little bit of analysis too, maybe a little bit of snark in between as well. So, but we'll get that package together, coming up to you sometime tomorrow as far as that goes.
I think I'm done. I'm ready to go do indie gigs tonight.
Yes, have a fun Hamtramck blowout, my friend.
I will see you next weekend.
Yes,
Clubhouse before the Louisville City FC.
Absolutely. We'll see you next week from the clubhouse. I'll see you midweek for Musings. Until then, folks, keep your feet in the ground. Keep reaching for the galaxy.